الشكر الجزيل للأستاذة انتصار. والآن مع الكلمة الافتتاحية الخاصة بالأستاذة ماريس جايموند الممثلة الخاصة بهيئة الأمم المتحدة.
Thank you very much. Esteemed guest, a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of UN Women's Palestine, and many thanks to the General Union of Palestinian Women for their invitation. UN Women Palestine has worked with the General Union of Palestinian Women during the past 2 years to promote the Women, Peace and Security agenda in Palestine, thanks to the generous funding from the government of Norway. The 21st anniversary of the adoption of the Resolution 1325 by the Security Council is a timely occasion to reflect on the status of women in Palestine. In addition to the ongoing occupation, now in its 54th year and 15 years of blockade in Gaza, Palestine has been marked by multiple crises which have affected men, women, boys and girls differently. In January 2021, the Palestinian government had announced new legislative and presidential elections, the first since 2006. While the decision was widely welcomed, several Palestinian CSOs had called for further increase of the minimum quota of elected women above the 26% set by the government. However, the elections were postponed indefinitely by the Palestinian government, mentioning the impossibility to conduct a free and democratic vote for the Palestinian citizens in occupied Jerusalem due to the Israeli lack of cooperation. This has shredded hopes among the population for democratic and representative institutions. The May 2021 escalation is still a very deep wound for all Palestinian people. In May, the Israeli forces started an operation in Gaza with a level of intensity not seen since the 2014 conflict. During 11 days of intense Israeli airstrikes, 256 Palestinians were killed. 23 girls, 43 boys, 40 women, and 150 men, while about 8,000 people are still internally displaced. On the 21st May, a ceasefire mediated by Egypt was reached. As in previous ceasefire negotiations, women's instances were not represented at the negotiation table. During the escalation, UN Women held a virtual meeting with 10 leading national CSOs from the West Bank and Gaza, offering a platform for their demands. Women's organizations raised the attention on the catastrophic humanitarian situation in Gaza, which was impacted heavily by bombings and risk exacerbating the precarious COVID-19 situation. In addition to that, they called for strengthening the WPS agenda. While women were not including in ceasefire talks, their inputs in the reconstruction and rehabilitation of Gaza remains fundamental. Finally, they recognize the importance of conducting international advocacy and raise awareness about the conditions of Palestinian women in bodies such as the Human Rights Council and the Security Council. While the ceasefire is a welcome development, the only sustainable solution for the well-being of the Palestinian people is restarting a peace process based on international parameters that is inclusive and also takes into account the different needs and concerns of its population. The COVID-19 pandemic has been and still is a health and social crisis for the Palestinian population, with more than 300,000 reported cases in the country and restrictions that have heavily impacted the already fragile socioeconomic status of its population. However, only 37% of the eligible West Bank resident and 18% of the ones in Gaza have received at least one dose due to the high hesitation among the population. Dear guest, on the other hand, there are also positive developments for the women's agenda in Palestine. The State of Palestine launched in March its second National Action Plan for the implementation of the UN Security Council Resolution 1325 on women, peace, and security. The second National Action Plan will be a point of reference to measure progress and facilitate all interventions on WPS in Palestine for the next 4 years. Based on 4 pillars, namely protection and prevention, accountability, participation, and relief and recovery, it will strive to increase women's participation in decision-making processes, including their representation in dialogue and negotiation committee, as well as national institutions and international and peacemaking bodies. It also stresses the importance of appropriate and quality services to respond to the needs and priorities of women and girls who experience violence, including legal, social, and health services, and the establishment of protection mechanisms to prevent and protect Palestinian women and girls from all types of gender-based violence. The NAP was developed in alignment with recommendations number 30 of the Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, which covers the application of the Convention to Conflict Prevention, international and non-international armed conflicts, situations of foreign occupation, as well as other forms of occupation and post-conflict phase. We are looking forward to the outcome of the discussion today on the synergy between the Women, Peace and Security Agenda in Palestine and this convention. Also in relation to the SDGs and the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. At a political level, UN Women welcomes the announcement of municipal elections to be held in December 2021. We hope that they will be conducted in free and fair environment and will elect democratically elected representative and possibly pave the way for national elections in the near future. Finally, to commemorate the 21st anniversary of the 1325 resolution, UN Women will hold an open day high-level dialogue on the Women, Peace and Security Agenda in Palestine. The event will be organized in partnership with the General Union of Palestinian Women with funding from the government of Norway and will be held in Gaza. Our choice to hold the event there is to show our support to the Gaza women whose voices are often the hardest to hear. Everyone will have the chance to attend the event via Zoom. The event will be held over 2 days with plenary sessions, thematic sessions, and workshops. At the end of the event, participants from the workshops will share recommendations in the closing session. The event will bring together women and youth leaders from leading civil society organizations with high-level senior officials, including the UN Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, the UN Resident Coordinator, and other high-level UN officials, as well as representatives from member states. Dear guests, I would like to thank once again the General Union of Palestinian Women for their invitation today and for their excellent work during the past 2 years. We are sure it contributed to raise awareness about the Women, Peace and Security Agenda in Palestine. Wishing all of us a fruitful seminar. Thank you very much.